Hello everyone, my name is Calvin Ampem-Darko. I am a first-year resident in anesthesiology and critical care medicine in Baltimore, Maryland. Today is one video in a series of videos I'm making about things I wish I knew at different points in my career and in my life. And today I want to talk about things I wish I knew before I started medical school. And kind of like the last video, it's a bit of a bait and switch, only because this is also something I'm glad I knew, and this is primarily a video about things you can get involved in before matriculating into medical school. So again, this is just my personal opinion and personal biases at play, but I'm a very big believer in taking the non-traditional path to medicine, primarily because I believe that fundamentally it helps you to develop more as a person than as a physician, because the learning, the studying, the memorization, all these things are things that you will learn to hone over time, but how to overcome adversity, trusting your ability to adapt to problems in real time, and just having a bit more emotional maturity about challenges is something that I believe is invaluable in picking up on prior to starting medical school. So for my path, I started as a Watson Fellow. So I'll talk a bit more about that and give you a few more examples, once again, honorable mentions, about programs you can get involved in prior to starting medical school, things that may not have to be related to medicine, but does allow you to explore more of yourself as an individual prior to starting this long road ahead of medicine. So for me, what I applied to was called the Thomas J. Watson Fellowship. There is a similar one called the Janet K. Watson Foundation. That's a bit different from what I did, but the general gist is you have a passion project that you write a pages-long proposal on and submit to the board. You have to be part of a select group of private colleges that are in this collective that are part of institutions that are selected to have representatives go and take a dedicated year to explore what they want to study. At the time I applied, the grant award was $30,000 for you to explore things outside the United States for an entire year. It was an amazing, life-changing experience that I am glad I went through. I spent some time in South Africa, Bolivia, India, and Senegal. And my whole project was looking at different caregiving models in different countries and how they prioritize the health of the caregiver. So for me, it was absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy I went through it. I'm grateful for the challenges that I encountered in this program, and I think that it really did give me a sense of purpose when it came to this path I'm on right now as an anesthesiologist, budding anesthesiologist and critical care medicine doctor. And so I know other people who essentially looked into this. Some studied skateboarding cultures across the country. Some also looked at how filmmaking could be a form of protest. Some looked at food, how to create sustainable food models going into the future. And every year, I think that it's amazing that the opportunity exists for this to happen. So I'm personally a fan of taking this route. If your college is one of the many, I will try to include a list of all the participating colleges. Hopefully you're already enrolled, and if you're not, you know someone who is, and you'll share this with them. Other programs that you can get involved in prior to starting medical school includes something called a Fulbright Scholarship. This is something I believe can be done also internationally, and you have one of two options. One where you can either be a master's student or one where you can take on a teaching assistantship. I'll go ahead and include the link to the description below for you to just explore it. This one is more open, wide. It's a wider net, a wider catch-all. I personally also applied briefly, even though my heart wasn't in it as much. I absolutely believe that this is one that has a worthwhile set of experiences for you to explore other parts of your interests, right? If you know you're interested in, say, obstetrics and gynecology, doing a master's in public health and somewhere in Andalusia in Spain is something that can give you a very unique perspective on how medicine is practiced. Another fellowship or a gap year experience you can do is obviously something like a research fellowship at the NIH. I'll also include a link to that below, which is something that can really be a great resume builder. I think that the networks you can establish there are invaluable for later down the road in your career path. There are many other opportunities of that nature. across the board, and I'll also find more of those and include them in the links below as well for you to check out. One I've also heard about is the Schwarzman Scholarship Program. I think the goal behind their program is to create global scholars who are inclined to solving the big picture problems. I think that it is an amazing program. I have a colleague of mine who actually participated in it during medical school. And that's one thing I wanted to highlight. The flexibility and the beauty of medicine, learning to become a medical doctor in the United States is that you can oftentimes take time off to do some of these things, and there isn't a set deadline for all of these programs. Two others that I am also a huge fan of is Peace Corps. I believe that is a 2-year commitment in essentially any country across the world where you get assigned to a particular project. I do not believe there's too much of a choice in where you end up, although I believe you can rank them. I'll do the research and include the links below as well for you, which is something I believe can really expand your understanding of the world and where you want your life to go. I know of at least one person who completed the Peace Corps prior to applying to medical school, and he was incredibly glad he did that. Finally would be the Teach for America program. That is something that I also know people do to kind of bridge the gap in the interim of applying to medical school more traditionally. Once again, the reason why I feel so strongly about these is that I know how much my fellowship helped me just to develop a bit more as an individual, to be more mature, to think about things more deliberately, and to realize that oftentimes in life, it is not about getting it right the first time. It's about how you bounce back from the failures. And I think that nothing teaches you better than having failed at something and learning to recalibrate after that mistake. Ultimately, I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe, but what I do want you to do is think about one person this might help. Copy the link, share it to them, and if one person is helped by any of these videos I'm making, then my job here is done. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.